You're now watching This AFC South Show, brought to you by Curtis Podcast Network, hosted by Curtis Brown, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel. Hello, everybody, and welcome to This AFC South Show number 89. Today, we're covering the Colts and the Giants matchup, the Texans and the Jags. It's going to be a good one. So we've got Jeff Steckel, our Colts fan, Isaiah Michelli, our Jags fan. I, of course, am our Texans fan. We did the Titans preview yesterday, and I appreciate all the attention it's been getting. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. We got a 60 like goal on this video. And if we could hit the subscribe button, just hit the notification bell. And we're trying to hit 1,000. We've been growing a lot lately. 73 new subscribers over the last 28 days. That's huge. So thank you all for that, and let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum up. With that, let's get this started. Jeff, we got your Colts taking on the Giants. Is this a home game? This way? Usually I've got that. Like
I've just been in off-season mode, so I haven't really.
That's normally my line.
It is an away game.
It is an away game.
Yeah, it isn't.
Okay. The Giants need this game. The Colts don't. Obviously, the only thing that would help the Colts at this point is kind of losing out, honestly. But you think there's a chance that this might be a trap game and the Giants just don't?
Stink it up.
Yeah, the Giants just do what Daniel Jones has been doing most of his career.
I mean, the chance is there, but it doesn't really benefit him to do it. I mean, it happened to the Colts last year with Jacksonville. Shut up, Isaiah. And it didn't benefit Jacksonville at all to win the game, but they still did it.
Pulls out the clown shoes and the rainbow afro,
and the clown masks and all that shit. But yeah, it could be a trap game, and pretty much every game this year the Colts have been on, with the exception of a couple. So I mean, again, and I said this the last three previews. Can they beat the Giants? Well, yeah, but will they? Probably not. Nick Foles, looked like garbage, and he's the starter for the next couple of games, and I think the Giants have a pretty quietly pretty good defense, and with Saquon Barkley, it's just. The Colts have gotten gashed pretty bad on outside runs, and they've let running backs, pass catching backs out of the open, and be open. So I'm not saying that they're going to put up big points on the Colts, but I think the Giants are going to win it. They just, they need it a lot more than the Colts do.
Yeah, I mean the NFC East has actually run roughshod over the AFC South.
Yeah,
to my knowledge, the Jaguars were the first team to beat an NFC East opponent from the AFC South.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Amen,
we almost
brother.
got them, and then we just pissed them off and distracted them, and you guys got them.
Almost had them if we only played three quarters.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a four-quarter game, so.
Yeah. Yeah, if we only played three quarters, 14 minutes and 20 seconds, they would have lost.
Yeah. Got to play that last 40 seconds, man.
Thanks.
But I mean, it's been drastic. I mean, we were eliminated. I think before the games this last weekend, or when the Jacksonville Jaguars won, I think they were already eliminated. So we've just been in off-season mode and just kind of looking at positioning in the draft. I think right now they sit at 5. So there's an outside, very outside chance the Colts could sneak into the first pick. But that would require, I think, the Texans winning out. I believe Arizona would have to win a game, and I think the Bears would have to win out.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another one. Denver, I think they would also have to win another game.
Denver's already got 4 wins, too.
Yeah.
But you guys have the head-to-head.
But they're ahead of us, yeah, so they'd have to win another game. And we'd have to lose out. So
Crazier things have happened.
So I see.
Jacksonville's
I
going
do
to the playoffs.
Huh?
He said crazier things have happened. I said, yeah, Jacksonville's going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
bro. They're starting like wild card ticket sales on the 30th this Friday, tomorrow, or 2 days, and everybody's like, take this shit down, like it's like a pre-sale, so you can go ahead and secure a spot. People are like, take it down now.
You're jinxing it.
That was like a couple years ago when Jacksonville was in the playoffs and they released the Minnesota Vikings versus Patriots Super Bowl thing. Did y'all see that?
Mm-mm.
So an NFL person put it on Facebook. It was a thing. It's like, every year they make all the possibilities into like banners, so they don't have to do it later. And it was Minnesota Vikings and Tom Brady and the Patriots like as the Super Bowl, and they like put it on Facebook or like on some social media, and a bunch of people were like screenshotting, and they quickly took it down. Like it was like super controversial. It was like, oh, it's rigged, and then it didn't end up being Minnesota, but it was Tom Brady.
Yeah. But and of course, all the talk with Carr pretty much getting benched, and he's going to be away from the team the next 2 weeks. They're already put your hand down. They're already putting Carr in a Colts uniform, and it's
let's go.
I mean, is he? I mean, he's obviously better than anyone we've got in the quarterback room right now.
Let's go.
He's also younger than
he's 29.
That's a big deal.
He's the youngest starting quarterback the Colts have had since Jacoby Brissett?
Yeah, before.
Well, or Ellinger, I guess, but.
Yeah. But, I mean, we talked about it a little bit, and it's like, I think you gave the prospect of trading, Shaq Leonard for Carr in a first. And, that wouldn't even rule out drafting a young quarterback. I don't know if I'd rule that one out. People would be pissed about giving up Shaq, but I'm like, we're also getting a first too. So, I mean, yeah. I wouldn't completely rule it out, but
yeah, Shaq's been so helpful to you guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Darius was very helpful.
Darius was extremely helpful. Hey, Shaq got a pick in one game.
Yeah, for the two downs he played.
Like didn't float into his arms, but he got a pick. But I'd consider it. But another one that I was looking at, it seems like, and this is a long shot, probably not going to happen. But the Ravens haven't been able to lock up Lamar Jackson, and I think he wants too much money for him. Like I don't know if they want to pay him that kind of money, and he's pretty. I mean, he's pretty young, younger than Carr, and very mobile. His accuracy, some to be desired. But I might consider a Shaq Leonard package for him. If they tag him or whatever. I don't know if I'd be opposed to that, but it would have to be Shaq Leonard and stuff.
He would cost way too much for you guys.
Yeah.
Ballard would never.
Look, you could spend all the money.
Might not be Ballard
either. Quarterback. The problem is you're still going to need weapons. You're still going to need everything else. A couple offensive linemen for sure. Because
they have weapons. They just don't use them. They just need an offensive line.
I mean, they got Jelani Woods. Realistically, in the future, next couple of years, Jelani Woods has a good chance to be on the roster.
Dude, come on.
I think Michael Pittman has a decent chance to be on the roster.
Yeah, they've got Jelani Woods. They've got the white Megatron, Alec Pierce. They've got Michael Pittman.
Campbell, he's a burner. He's short, but he's a burner.
Campbell, they got Jonathan Taylor. They got weapons.
Yeah, but Campbell's in a contract year. Campbell's in a contract year. Pittman's going into his third or fourth year.
Campbell's going to take the hometown discount. It's fine.
I mean, he's been hurt his entire career. He's not going to be that expensive to keep him around.
Yeah.
We'll see.
His first 4 years were just riddled with injuries.
Bringing back people historically. I mean, they let Danico Autry go.
Yeah, but
I think he wanted too much. Ballard's been really cheap in free agency. Like he let Glowinski go on the line, and that was probably the biggest problem going into this year was he let two linemen walk. I heard Blake talking about LaRaven Clark, and he played well. That was another one we let go, and I'm like, he was a really good backup. And sometimes he started for us, and I thought he did well, and let him go, let Glowinski go. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Mark Glowinski.
Glowinski, yeah. So those were probably two of the biggest mistakes, especially if you're going to bring in a statue like Matt Ryan. It just didn't make sense to let your line go like that. So
You got to be able to
he's not
afford
with us.
him. Matt Ryan's contract is huge. So, like, no matter what, no matter what, the Colts have to do something about Matt Ryan. Because he's got to take, like, a pay cut to stay on the roster. He got to go from, like, $40 million to, like, $5 million.
Dude, after this year, can you honestly say that he wouldn't retire?
Dude,
like,
he
after
should.
the ass whooping
He
He
should.
should, but that doesn't mean, like, he won't take
But
some money in retirement.
Yeah. I think if we, like, cut him, it would still be, like, a $17 million hit or some shit.
Jesus Christ.
It's a big hit. But
Well, at least it's not nearly as bad as the situation going on with Russell Wilson in Denver. If they cut him this year, like after the end of the season, it is like $109 million in dead cap.
it would be I think the largest dead cap hit in
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
and of course people are joking around and putting Russell Wilson in a Colt uniform. It's like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. If you guys cut Matt Ryan next season, after this season, he has a $35.2 million cap hit, and that is $18 million in dead cap you'd still have to take care of over the next couple of years.
I think he had like a clause in it too that if you didn't pass like whatever the physical is that he'd do the full thing in March. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. You had mentioned it earlier. If the Texans went out, then the Colts have the potential, if they lose out, to have the first overall pick, with some other dominoes falling, of course. But perfect way to segue into the next matchup, the AFC South matchup of the week, Jags Texans. Now, this one is in Houston. Both of these games are actually happening at the same time, noon. So, going to be multitasking with your mind. But, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to let you go first, Isaiah.
All right.
Scream it, Isaiah.
I can't wait for the comments of like, why did they take so long on the Colts section? Shut the fuck up, okay? This is this AFC South show, not this.
Let me have something, show. Man.
Yeah, he needs something. All right. I get it. Jacksonville's doing great. We're probably gonna make the playoffs. Chill out. All right. We all have our part here.
Oh man, you got to do that again. It edited out your.
Oh,
you clipped.
No,
it clipped that. I think you were too loud.
It peaked the mic. Duval. There we go.
There we go.
Anyways, this one is either going to be. I honestly think this game's going to get ugly. I think Jacksonville's going to win by 20 points plus. But other teams have been, getting played close by the Texans, and I don't think any of the other teams they've played have been as hungry as Jacksonville or as not injured as the Titans. Or as injured as the Titans, I should say. But there is a good chance that Jacksonville will do Jacksonville things, and they will lose to the Texans as they have the past 9 times we played them, right? Is it 9 times in a row now? 9 times in a row. So there's a chance, they just have our number for some reason. 904 is the number. But for some reason, I think we're going to do all right this time around. Trevor Lawrence has been playing well. He had the the fumble in the Jets game, and then came back and did great from there. So that was cool. There's not going to be any rain, so hopefully there's no sack fumbles in this one. We'll see. It does hurt still that Cam Robinson's out. I think he's a better blocker than Walker Little, but I think Walker Little can and will be better than Cam Robinson because Robinson's contract is egregious for how okay he is. It'll be nice to have him in there, though. He played really well in the running game last week. I'd love to see if he can go through there. That's going to be a big point of contact there. But I really think they're going to try and abuse Tyler Shatley, our left guard. He's been kind of getting taken advantage of here lately. They're doing some double moves on him, some twists and stunts. He's been straight pushed over a couple times by dudes like Quinnen Williams, who's just giant. And the Texans have a pretty good front. This could be a situation where they could get to us a bunch, or this could be another one like, earlier in the year we like neither of us got any sacks and it was just weird. We'll have to see though. I think it's gonna be a good week. Are you guys is Stingley back yet?
Stingley's on IR.
Okay, he is on IR, so that'll be nice. That'll be good for us. The one that Trevor threw the pick to last time isn't going to be there, so that'll be nice. Travis Etienne's over $1,000 now, so hopefully we'll be able to. He threw it. Well, he only threw one to Stingley though.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying like.
And the other one was like as the game was ending.
Yeah, that was like a Hail Mary at the end that he should have never thrown. But the one to Stingley was the one in the red zone that should have never been called when we were averaging a touchdown per carry. That's where Run the Damn Ball was born. Holy crap! It's been so long. Well, it could.
Full circle, baby.
Full circle. Here we are, week 17. I got it right this time. No, I mean, I think it could be a good game though. I really think that the Texans are going to play hard. I don't know. I mean, I get why they're playing hard. They've played hard all season. They've played close with people. Someone the other day made the comment of, they'd be 9 and whatever if they won all their one-score games. I said, who cares? Because Jacksonville will be 13-2, but whatever. It's going to be a big week, though. I'm really excited for this game. I really actually like the Texans. They're my second favorite team in the division. Not saying much when the Colts and the Titans are the other two, but it should be a good game. I'm excited for Jalen Petrie, and I really like watching him play football. He's a great safety. He's still young, though. He gets taken advantage of sometimes, but he makes a lot of really good plays, and he's going to be a great safety in this league for a long time. I'm hoping Houston can lock him down, even though, I'd love to have him in Jacksonville paired up with Cisco. Still a while for that, but he's played great, and that's the one piece on that defense that I'm actually like kind of worried about, but kind of not. Doug Peterson's been scheming up really well these past couple weeks, and ever since Trevor threw that end zone pick and against the Broncos, he's been a different man. I'm really excited for this one. Again, I think Jacksonville's going to win by 20 plus if they don't sit anybody, which I actually haven't checked that yet, just because they're mad that they lost to Houston last time, and they're hungry. They're going to try and play hard and get into it. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was a one-score game at the end of it. I think Evan Ingram's going to have another big week this week, trying to move him around. They've been doing a lot with him lately, scheming him up big, which Peterson's always done. But, Ingram kind of finally got into the swing of it. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a big week. Really what's going to, hurt or make or break us is how well the defense can hold up. Without having Pierce really hurts the Texans. So that's kind of the one thing I'm excited about, is that Pierce won't run for, he won't carry 6 guys to the end zone to win the game this time around. I'm not scared of Royce Freeman. I'm definitely not scared of Rex Burkhead. Rest in peace. He just, it's going to be interesting.
Runs don't matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody should be worried about Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. We always seem to play bad against the Texans. If not bad, they always seem to play well against us, one way or the other. But we'll see. Hopefully this is another win for us, and it'll be nice to be positive, over 500 after winning only 4 games last year, because we're definitely winning week 18. It's gonna be a smoke show. I might be at that game.
What's the percentage chance you think that the Jags are going to sit people? Like, if you had to throw a number at it.
I don't think they will. I think, with this being Doug 10%? Peterson's, I would say, honestly,
like 5?
Let me check. They put out the list earlier today. I would say 0% personally. I think Doug Peterson's one of those guys that's going to be like, okay, let me take that back. If they are questionable, they will sit more than likely. Like if they're like, if it's an injury where they could potentially like re-hurt it, they might just like play because they can. They're gonna sit. If they are like good to go, full during practice, everything, they're gonna play. Doug Peterson's one of those guys. He's not gonna he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, we earned it, boys, we're good. And then he's one of those guys. He's gonna make the guys play. He really didn't sit people much in Philly either. I know they were kind of fighting for it, but I don't think we're gonna sit anybody as of right now. I don't see it happening.
I just before, whatever. To piggyback on that, I think it would be a good idea for the Jaguars to kind of, if they can, beat up on the Texans, because the Titans are clearly sitting people getting ready for week 18. And, even Derrick Henry I think he's listed as doubtful right now, but he even said, yeah, I'm good to go. I don't think he's actually like hurt.
Yeah,
So I
he's
think it would
built
be
from
kind of
scratch.
a strong message to send that, like, yeah, we're whooping the Texans' ass, and then we're coming for the Titans. That would be a kind of a morale play right there.
Yeah.
I agree. That's all I got though. I'm excited for it. And it's another great week. It's kind of weird we're closing out with two AFC South teams in a row. But I'm super excited for it. I'm really happy about this season. I know at the beginning of the year I was like, "Woo, we're gonna go to the playoffs," because the whole meme was going around because we were the number one in the division, and now it might actually happen. It's kind of crazy. Full circle, full circle.
Yep. I mean, let me start off with saying a lot of my early season vigor for this season just died immediately. So, in the last 3 weeks against teams that are vastly superior, or at least they would be if the injury bug didn't absolutely massacre the roster in the case of the Titans. And played them well, so I think that will continue here. There is a motive for the Texans, even though it's not, hey, we're going to the playoffs. It's if they win out, they have the best record in the division against the division. Which just means we literally can't beat anyone else. The rest of the NFL, we ain't got it. But in the division, that would be something to hang your hat on going forward. What's up, Pim?
I just wanted to, by the way, I did not see this beforehand, I promise. Cross my heart, hope to die, pinky swear, whatever the fuck you want to do. Doug Peterson said, "There's never a meaningless game. Never, ever, ever. You play to win every game. The only way I rest players is if they're hurt and can't go. It's an AFC South opponent, and they beat us in week 5, so we've got to have a great week of preparation. We understand that, and we still got some unfinished business." So he said he's not going to be resting any starters in this game if they're good to go.
There it is. All right. So
Love me some Doug, baby.
I think this is going to be a very heated game. Like, I think this could potentially be, both teams putting up 20 plus. Houston's been pretty good at doing that lately. They, were a 2-point conversion away from hitting 21 last week, but 19 still. And the 2-quarterback system, while it's definitely kind of goofy and there's really not a long-term viability, it's working just enough to keep things moving drive-wise. Things are progressing. Touchdowns are being the result. Hell, last week Rex Burkhead got his first touchdown since like week 3 because Davis Mills fumbled into the end zone. I mean, you can't even he was going for his second week in a row with the rushing touchdown and just goofed it up hard. But I think that this Texans team is trying to maintain being competitive, and they're trying to win out to have something to hang their hat on, because these guys, a lot of them are on short-term deals. They're trying to prove themselves to other teams. Hey, it wasn't just me this whole time. Maybe the scheme was not right, and now they're just kind of let me play my thing because it's the end of the year. Whatever. I think a lot of people have something to play for, and a couple of guys have already been re-signed. Blake Cashman got re-signed by the Texans to a couple of years deal. So I think there's still some fire and some passion on this Texans team. I think Malik Collins is playing the best football he's played all season. I think the presence of Jonathan Grenard being back is going to be a good thing. He was able to get some pressure last week on Malik Willis. And then, of course, Obo Okoronkwo has been absolutely crushing it the last couple of weeks. He's got 3 sacks over the last 2 weeks. He's been a busy man, and I think he's got like 6 TFLs over the last 2 weeks. So definitely finding a groove here. And of course, Jerry Hughes has 8.5 or maybe just 8 sacks on the season. So there's definitely people on this team that I think can exploit the Jaguars' offensive line, specifically Shatley, as you had mentioned. But with that, Jeff, what you got, Pimp? And we'll go to Isaiah in rebuttal.
Yeah, I think I actually picked the Texans to win. It's at home, so
yeah. It's all. Oh, by the way, that would make it the only time all season that Houston would win at home.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of owe one to the to the home crowd. It's been a brutal season for them.
Fuck them.
But yeah, I picked the Texans, and if they do, it'll be really close. I don't see them winning by multiple scores. I feel like it'll be kind of a. I don't know if it'll be as low scoring as the first game of the season, but I feel it'll be probably within a field goal of each other, unless if Isaiah the Jaguars just kind of run away with it. But
Jags by 20.
I feel like the Texans have been way more competitive in a lot of these games than they probably should have been. And, I think that's kind of a testament to what Lovie Smith can do. Like, if you look at their roster, it's kind of, especially going into the season, you're like, I don't know most of these people.
Yeah.
So he's got them playing well, especially on the defensive side. They've held quite a few teams, relatively close. So it's at home. I think, like Curtis said, they're going to come out and play with some heart and some fire, and they're playing for contracts. They're playing for, if not for Houston, then for later. So
right,
they've got something to play for, and you said Jacksonville. They're not resting their starters, but they don't. Other than momentum, they don't really have a lot to play for in this game. So
yeah,
I don't know about a trap game for Jacksonville or anything like that, but I feel like it'll be close, and I think we'll win close.
Hey, technically, though, if we win out, we still have a chance at a wild card. Or if we win this one and lose to Tennessee, we still technically have a chance at a wild card.
Well,
a lot has to happen.
If you lose this week and you beat Tennessee, you're the 4 seed.
No, I'm saying if we beat you guys but lose to Tennessee, we still have a chance at a wild card, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, this game does matter because technically speaking, as long as everything goes how we need it to,
you need a lot of help for that to happen.
Yeah, like the Colts getting the first overall pick, a lot has to happen, but it is possible. So this game does mean something. And also too, at least we'll have 8 wins versus 7, and good stuff. But
it would be nice to have a winning team in this division go to the playoff.
It would. Over 500 would be nice.
Yeah. We don't want to send 8 and 9 into the playoffs. That's just
it'd be a rough season,
but we don't want it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think Royce Freeman's kind of slept on. He had a pretty good game against the Kansas City. I think he had like 11 carries for 51 yards. So against obviously the Titans didn't really think that Davis Mills was going to be able to throw the ball, so they crashed down on Royce Freeman the whole time, and he was able only to get 2 yards a carry. But he was taking some pretty physical hits. He was moving the pile when he had the opportunity to do those kind of things, and I think he's like an even poor man's Dameon Pierce. Because he's a 4th round draft pick. He's not even like super expensive in general, but like Royce Freeman's like, I got no money at all. Can you just throw some pads on and come in, guy? And that's him. I think he's got some juice to him. I think he's also fighting for a career somewhere else. So he's got to put something good on tape. Brandon Cooks definitely needs to perform well to wrap this season up, so that teams are like, all right, clearly, once they started giving him balls he could handle, he could, you could make something of it. Got into my head. I think the Texans win this in a close, competitive game, where I think Trevor's kind of checked in at like 230 yards, probably a touchdown, an interception, 100 yards from ETN probably, and the Texans will probably have like 200 total yards of offense, but the turnover ratio will be somehow weird, and we'll end up getting good field position on a couple of our possessions and kind of capitalizing on that.
Trevor's throwing for 251 or over. He's breaking 4K this week. It's happening.
Fair enough, but we'll see. He hasn't had.
The only one of those predictions I was right was ETN. He broke 1,000 at 1,000. The rest of them, because rain game and they barely threw the ball, besides Evan Ingram, did not.
Yeah,
but they got close.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're wrapping up here, boys. You got any final comments? I wouldn't be upset.
I'm waiting for Isaiah again, but
yeah, I'm not going to be upset if the Texans do manage to win out. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, you messed up having the first overall draft pick." I don't want the first overall draft pick.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
hey,
We all know you want Bryce Young.
If
CJ
I can
Stroud.
get if we mess around and end up getting 2 or 3, we can still get literally a top 3 talent, and we can
Yeah.
take. I don't
quarterback.
really like. Just make it a simpler decision. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? 'Cause,
whenever Chicago has the first overall pick, they're not picking a quarterback. They're going to pick Will Anderson, and you're right back to square one at number 2 with Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, whichever one performs better at their pro day.
potentially.
Yeah.
Or they draft.
It's not happening. Don't even think about it. Think of Will Levis?
No.
Yeah, no, you think of Hendon Hooker in the 17th round because he tore his ACL.
No, the 17th. No, I'm thinking more of like that spot. Probably Jalen Carter.
You're not drafting a D tackle at number 2. If you
Bro.
guys are in the top 5 and there's
Then we're
one of those
trading
2
back.
quarterbacks,
Then we're
no,
trading
you're not.
back.
You're drafting
We're
a
trading
quarterback.
back. We're taking Jalen Carter.
They are drafting a quarterback.
Bro, I'm
A lot
not
of
saying
people
we're
are
not
saying
going to
Will
draft
Levis
a
to the
quarterback.
Colts.
We've got
No,
2
they're
first-round draft
doing it
picks.
in the
We have
first
2
round.
first-round draft picks.
In the top 3, they're drafting a quarterback. It's
Bro.
happening.
We have 2 top 10 first-round draft picks.
Top 3, you're drafting a quarterback. I'm telling you right now.
Definitely not.
Definitely, unless they feel like they can get
Not.
Will Levis and number whatever they have inside the top 10, they are
That's
taking
probably
a
what
quarterback.
is more likely. That's probably more likely. They'll probably go BPA and then go quarterback with the second first.
They can't draft BPA. They're not
Yes,
good.
they
don't
can.
have the roster
Literally
to draft
across
BPA.
the board.
They do
We've
not
got
have the
1
roster
safety.
to draft
We've got
BPA.
2 corners. We've got 2 linebackers. We're probably going to get rid of Kirksey.
You need 2 safeties and 3 corners, and you need when you
That's
play
what I'm
cover 2
saying.
nickel. So you can't do BPA. You got to do your needs. You
That's-
draft
that's
BPA
what
when you have the
BPA
needs
is.
filled. No. Best player available is like, Will Anderson, you're the best player in the draft. Come over here. It's like
Yes,
your biggest
is
need right
edge
now
rusher.
is
Jerry Hughes is
offensive
34 yards, or 34 years old.
take a tackle at first overall and then move him into guard because you guys can't get guards for some reason. AJ Canny's retired. You're drafting a quarterback in the top 3. It's happening. I'm locking it.
Nah, man.
Play a lock
I think
sound
we have
right
a
now
large
on
amount
the
of
video.
cap.
I am locking it.
All right,
It's a large amount. It's a large
Lock it
amount of
in.
cap. It's a large amount of cap that y'all aren't drafting a quarterback top 3.
I'm telling you right now, it's not happening.
I'm telling you right now, it's happening. Lovie Smith is going to break. He's going to change the culture for the Texans forever, and he's going to actually draft a quarterback, an offensive weapon in the top 5. It's happening.
Nah.
I'm locking it.
Nah. Depends on what we can get for Brandon Cooks and everything, as
You
well
ain't
as
getting shit.
we technically have 3 first-round draft picks because of the Dolphins not having one. So, but yeah, we're running out of time, guys. Thanks for being on here. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like button. Got a 60 like goal. Subscribe. We're still in the hunt for 1,000. We're at 202, so we need 798 more to accomplish the goal. So what's up, y'all? Hit the button,
Buy the merch.
the notification bell. Be good people.
Go Jags.
We are Texans, baby.